Michael, during the 9 years in detention, did the government send anyone to make any overture to you?
In 1965, sometime in July, I was supposed to be released and I was housed in a senior officer's house prior to release. Then Devanaya came to see me, asked me if I would like to work for the NTUC. I said, we will discuss it after I'm released. Then the break came. Gokengsi wanted those who wanted to be released to appear on TV, which I refused. And I was sent back to Changi.
Going back to the 50s and 60s, what was it like to be a union leader then? What was it like to be heading a 10,000 strong union?
Talking about 50s, I was not involved in any union. I was involved as a student leader from 55 onwards. Although I thought I could survive by teaching part-time, but Mr. Devanaya put a stop to it. Stopped me from teaching in the night classes.
How did he stop you?
I was teaching in Monks Hill Secondary School 3 nights a week, and he gave instruction to the supervisor, Mr. Siraj, who used to be my old teacher, not to employ me anymore, to stop me from teaching. So I lost that income. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't survive. I had to leave the university in May 1962. Went back to teaching in Kolasrengo.
Mm-hmm. The Employment Act was passed in 1968, and other pieces of legislation were amended, such as the Industrial Relations Act and the Trade Unions Act. Are these laws still relevant today, or are they meant to continue to suppress the rights of workers?
My vague recollection of these objectives of these laws were, one, to make the workers submissive to the employers and the government, so that the government could bring in foreign investors to make by hiring and giving them the right to hire and fire and make them work longer hours, thus reap more profit, and which can be taken back to their own countries.
Mm-hmm. Did your arrest and the arrest of your fellow labour activists break the back of the trade unions in Singapore?
Yes and no. Yes, because broke the back of the left-wing trade union movement.
Right.
No, because that was needed. The government needed that vacuum to be filled by the government people, government supporters in the NTUC.
What do you think of the NTUC? Is it strange that the Secretary General of the NTUC is a cabinet minister? And do you think that it can adequately represent the interests of the workers?
NTUC has become a big employer.
Itself?
Much bigger than any multinational corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And once you become, when purport to be a leader of the workers, become an employer, naturally you behave like a very, hostile employer, demanding more because you can demand more without having to go through the conciliatory machinery and make you work. And you reap the benefit from the employers and from the government.
Would you venture to say that a true trade union would still be relevant today in terms of pushing those concerns to the forefront?
Yeah, but the point, given the present situation, a trade union per se may not be workable because The moment you say that you are trade union, you will be required to register under the Trade Union Act. Then the government machinery comes in. You will be killed before you start.
All right. Okay. Can we follow up from there? As in, you said that if the government machinery kicks in and you'll be killed right from the start. Do you mean to say that they won't even allow you to register?
No, they won't. They want you to go through NTUC in a normal channel. Then you'll be throttled. You'll be suffocated.
Okay. Now, NTUC is the controlling body of the unions in Singapore. But NTUC has also had a poor record in attracting workers from the Singapore workforce to be actually unionized, to choose to be unionized. In fact, their rate of attracting the workers seems to be roughly around 15% of the workforce. What do you have to say to...
No, I think it's quite clear to most workers that NTUC doesn't represent the workers and their interests. You say very, very rightly pointed out, it's only 15%. Then how can, when you represent only 15% of the workforce in Singapore, how can you call it National Union of Trade Unions? It's a tragedy in terms, right? So they don't represent the workers. They represent the government interests and the employers' interests.
It's been a real honor having you on Let's Talk, Michael. And your courage and your struggle inspires us all. I'd like to thank you for sharing all this with us. Thank you.
I'm happy to share. All right, thank you.
I'm sure you found this interview as enlightening, but as disturbing as I have. We're grateful to Mr. Fernandez for coming forward to speak so candidly and so forthrightly here on Let's Talk, where we bring you interviews that our mass media would not do. Until the next time, I'm Chia Tilik, wishing you a very good and happy new year and a meaningful year 2010.